Welcome back to Rotten Rambling On, the show that tells you how it is. Naked, unvarnished, raw. Oh, wait, no, I think that's another podcast. Okay, so we mostly talk about nerd shit that's associated with films, TV, comic books. Also, as you gathered from the last vulgarity, this is an adult podcast, has adult language, so yeah, we may fly off the handle and just swear like a couple of sailors.
Very true.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, this time around, we were discussing this, and this is Shawn's idea, and I'm absolutely loving it.
You say that, like, when does Shawn have ideas?
I know, it's so fucking rare! Once in a blue moon. No, I absolutely fell in love with this, just be able to do this topic, and we're talking about Retcon. Not to be confused with the mind-altering drink via Torchwood. My God, that was just a date rapist's dream come true.
That's a fun little cocktail right there.
You could have just kept plowing the same girl over and over. I had no idea.
That's some funky Cold Medina right there. That's what
my
is.
God, stop dating us. Bad enough when I do it. Don't add to it. Retcon stands for Retroactive Continuity. Basically, it's reframing whatever past events occurred to serve a current plot need. Mm-hmm. And we found plenty of examples of this. One, my particular standing, I just felt it kind of deserved it, is the fact of Highlander 2 basically pissing on anything that Highlander was. Sadly, as a youngling, I begged, wheedled, and capitulated to get to see this movie. Mm-hmm. So Tom and I are there. We're with my mom. We're thrilled. We got our tickets. We got our popcorn and our soda. And then we hear the line, "Yes, I remember it 400 years ago on the planet Zeist." We looked at our tickets. We looked at the screen. Looked at our tickets again. Just looked at each other going, "What? Wait, what?" So, yes, Highlander the Quicking brought us such things as aliens that are immortal, artificial dome to protect the planet from its deadly UV rays, and Connor de-aging and going back to his prime.
Yeah. All because aliens showed up on the planet.
Yeah. So Highlander 3 basically said, yeah, remember that crap we put out there for Highlander? Yeah, fuck all that shit. It's gone. It never happened. Here's my alien flashy thing for you to forget that. So Highlander the Sorcerer, I mean the Final Dimension, I mean the Magician, I mean the Final Conflict. It had a lot of alternative titles. Those are just the English ones.
Jake, did you retcon me? I ain't fooling around, Jake. Did you retcon me?
No. So ignoring Highlander 2, no aliens, no domes, or any of that such. It's supposed to be 15 years after the prize is won, but lo and behold, there were some forgotten immortals over there in that cave. Yeah. They've just been hanging out for about 300 some plus years, not needing food, water. Yeah. I just kind of envisioned one of them be kind of bloated from eating the other two. Nope. Even their armor has not aged.
Didn't you know you can win the ultimate prize subjectively? If you think you've killed the last immortal, bam, you win. So
that whole aspect of having a wife and adopting a kid and all that jazz just didn't occur.
Yeah. Well, no. Ask his successor in the television series, which completely ignored
also
every movie.
Retcons everything except the first movie.
Yeah.
And yet, Duncan shouldn't have happened if the first film came to true.
Right.
Yeah. We won't even talk about Endgame or The Source. My God, this isn't simply taking Highlander fans' money. Mm-hmm. This is taking their money and pissing in their face and telling them it's raining.
This is what brings to mind the episode of Family Guy in which Stewie goes to every director's house of every movie he ever bought tickets to see and disliked.
And just, shot him?
Slapped him in the face and demanded his $8 back.
Oh, I agree. or that Clerks episode where Randall kept putting all of them on trial.
Yeah.
Man, Batman and Robin was so gay. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, thank you for those install updates. Thank you, McCaffrey. Yeah, they're not... Hey, I'm sorry, they're not paying my bill. I'm not plugging them.
Very true.
It's a great system, but, you know.
But actually, it's good that you bring up Highlander first, because it points out something that's important to remember.
Okay.
Retcons are not always bad. I mean, a lot of times it's synonymous
Highlander the source, dude. Trust me.
Usually
Bam.
it's synonymous with shitty writing and bad editing, but sometimes a retcon is necessary to go back and fix some rancid piece of shit that hit the screen. Or hit
so how come I didn't do that for the prequels? That would have been nice.
But
less pod racing, less Jar Jar.
Exactly.
Actually, if you cut Jar Jar out altogether, it might actually be entertaining. I'm kidding.
We hear it. We in the Star Wars fandom have high hopes that the new trilogy will in some way go back and remove Jar Jar from all Star Wars history.
I don't think that's actually even necessary.
But I mean, that's actually an interesting point right there. Retcon, not so much in the aspect of addition or change, but in subtraction. Like the Highlander TV series, the Star Wars franchise has gone back and completely disavowed the entire literary canon so that came out after or around the original and the second Star Wars trilogy. Your Dark Force Rising is not considered part of the official Star Wars universe.
Yeah, all the expanded universe stuff that was even remotely associated has been completely eked out.
Apparently,
and I'm going, that's kind of harsh.
Bong is not a thing.
Yeah.
It will never happen. Chewbacca did not and will not die.
We didn't see a Jedi Academy. Instead, somebody decided to go off to a remote island and fuck off.
Which is sad, because honestly, those were some great storylines.
Yeah, no, actually, even if just using the Dark Forces trilogy was actually... Of course, it kind of showed me that LucasArts really hates farm boys.
Yeah.
I'm just going on that. Okay,
and LucasArts has some issues with incest and...
Yeah, seriously. Actually, it's funny you bring that up. So, I'm doing research on this, and Empire Strikes Back's established...
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Research.
Yes, research. That's where you actually look shit up.
The word has no meaning.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird for Rotten Rambling On.
What? We're not doing this off the fucking cuff?
I know, it's zany. It's nutty. But see, I have these papers here where I actually have written text. It's nutty. No, the basis
Those are
of it...
blank. You're just shaking it.
On the basis of it, Empire Strikes Back
yes.
reveals that Anakin Skywalker is in fact Darth Vader.
Yes.
But in the original outline in question, none of that was true.
Well, yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi actually says to Luke in A New Hope.
Yeah, that a young pupil, in fact, that he trained, killed his friend.
Yep, exactly. And
then
Luke's father.
Yeah, and then you just get the whole, from a certain point of view standing that Alec Guinness has to churn out and just look miserable as shit.
From a certain point of view, the Holocaust never happened.
Yes, according to several East German fanatics.
You fucking Nazi sympathizer.
I know, some of that was kind of weird. Another end of the spectrum, prior to Return of the Jedi, there was supposed to be a love interest between Luke and Leia, and then Return of the Jedi pops around and goes, oh, yeah, by the way, you've been macking on your sister. Yeah.
Well,
sorry about
because in
that.
the original write-up, Leia was not meant to play Luke's sister.
Yeah.
It was actually going to be another character introduced, and they decided to merge.
And I don't understand that BS, too. No. Of course, from that same standing, you look at it from, like, the first novelization of Star Wars, which is A Splinter of a Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster.
Yep.
And they established a budding romantic relationship, potentially coming to life. So I don't know if Lucas went through that book and went, that's bullshit. I honestly don't know. I myself found it a really good book.
Yeah.
Because at that same aspect, you also got to see just how fucking diabolical Vader was.
Oh, yeah.
And again, this all occurs prior to Empire Strikes Back. So, yeah, he's got Daddy's lightsaber, but he didn't know what the fuck to do with it. Yeah. Maybe stick it up his ass. He didn't have a clue. I'm amazed he could... I'm thinking that stun drone over there was just fucking with him. They probably put an AI and go, come on, far boy. You missed again. But yeah, I know. It's just
You could
there's
always,
certain things that were funny.
I always try what Bob did in. He could always try what Bob did in Big Bang Theory. Stick it through his chest to try to get away from talking to Sheldon.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, the simple fact that you watch Big Bang Theory, that should be enough for you to stab yourself with a lightsaber.
But a show that has never retconned its storyline.
Oh, Lottie fucking da. I can say that about several shows that have came and went, and that really doesn't mean much.
Actually,
they just have the gone and never spoken of again.
Yes.
I always love that. Oh, wait, you want good, solid continuity. Babylon 5 is a great example of this. That being said, however, they've had plenty of characters just eke into the stratosphere and never come back.
And that is actually rare, because I was going to say, you can't throw a rock at any long-running sci-fi fantasy series without hitting a retcon of some kind.
It's pretty hard. I mean, you just go on the basis, like, one of the longer runnings for our era would be Stargate. And they had a lot of inconsistencies.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of insane on how many levels they did. People would de-age. Characters would get their names altered because maybe one actor could not pronounce it. Yeah, case in point.
Really?
Michael Shanks could not say Shiraru. So it became Shirare. He could not pronounce it because, well, he's Canadian, had a fairly thick accent that he had to stunt to sound more American.
Yeah.
You know, because apparently we couldn't accept a Canadian Daniel Jackson. Which I'm sitting there going, is that really that a fucking issue? Also, Teal'c's age kept altering.
Wow. Did any of us really know how old Teal'c was?
He was supposed to be over 200 years old.
But did he even really know?
Yes!
Did he know how old? I mean, did he even remember
as the
when his
well,
was?
you know, I suppose as the character aged, it probably some of that shit would have had to have slipped. I mean, as many things he encountered as First Prime of Apophis, there were certain. I always loved how they kept turning like, "Oh, this is alien. Clearly, you know." It's like I didn't attack everyone, you know. There's a poor bastard, probably never going to get redemption, really. In the eyes of many. When you think about it, he's going to hit another planet where he's like, I think I burned this village. Yeah, several of my men, I think they went and had themselves a little, rape and pillage standing. Yeah, but the village down the road, I'm pretty sure we had no interaction. So let's go hit that one.
Yeah.
Let's go hit that one.
Well, you know. Actually, in all defense, it's very easy to forget your birthday when you get past 1 century.
Well, only if you're Doctor Who.
Well, it was established, actually, in
the
comic book.
Doctor.
Yes, the Doctor. It was established in the comic book Powers. Interestingly enough, a show that Rotten Reels recently reviewed, a very good show. But it was
quite enjoyable.
It was. It was a great series. But in the original comic, the main character turns out to actually be an immortal on the level of Vandal Savage, having
good God.
existed from
Wait,
caveman
Walker?
days.
Well, that would explain why Walker doesn't age.
Yeah,
because you're looking at his pictures and you're going, he really just stopped at latter 20s.
But the premise is you can be biologically immortal, but the human brain apparently cannot handle memories past a decade or 100 years, a century. After a century, your brain just can't keep that stuff in the memory warehouse anymore.
And yet, explain Vandal Savage.
Well, see, and that's...
Oh, you're going to give me that, he touched a meteorite. Come on, that was a Cro-Magnon.
He didn't touch a meteorite. I thought he was hit by a meteorite when he was living as a priest in
No, that was a bunch of crap. That was a bunch of CW retcon nonsense. Yes, thank you, CW, for that retcon. No, and the whole basis is, Vandal Savage is actually even older than that.
Oh, yeah.
So, by the basis of Vandal Savage, he was a Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
He was pre-Ostapicitherian. Yeah. That is how frickin' old, and explains the jutting forehead.
Yeah.
Now, if we can only explain that for, David Boreanaz or Ben Affleck, maybe Affleck's ex-wife, because Garner's got a bit of a forehead there.
You know what? Actually, there is a...
They're children of Savage!
Well, there are articles out there that say that while all life supposedly sprung from the cradle of humanity in Africa and moved out, and it's one
Predispositioned?
Oh, I can't remember the
Pre-existing?
term. Homo erectus, anyway. Apparently, you can find...
This argument's going well.
Yes, thank you. My rambles are superb.
Yeah,
but anyway,
hence the title.
You can find trace amounts of other Homo sapien species, like...
well, Homo erectus would be which is still too many jokes, but...
And the Neanderthal race, which is supposedly not what humans are descended from anymore, but you can find trace amounts of them in certain geographical locations mixed in.
As well as genetic.
What that tells me is, obviously, Vandal Savage went all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
Working a bunch of
He
these.
plowed like the back 40, sir. Dear God. There's a reason why Africa has a drought.
Mm-hmm.
They ran out of his bath water. Or his cleanup water. Well, that was fun. Got to move on.
Time to sluice.
Yeah. I know. That was the whole aspect. So, the basis of it is... And they kind of went a goofy route, but, oh well. It's... it's fiction. You can do pretty much whatever the fuck you feel like.
Which is what Retcon originates from.
And we just had a lockup? Okay, sorry. My computer just acted screwy there for a second. But no, the whole basis... the whole basis is he ends up, interacting with the meteorite, and it just forever changes him. Now, in the junction of that, we have another retcon to go with this. Apparently, his whole tribe went looking for him.
Yep.
So they did this in a Batman and the Outsiders story arc, and they all became immortal too. They just didn't become. God. They just didn't become conquerors. They became the king makers.
Yeah.
They shape the entire world as we know it. From every atrocity, every conqueror, every nation, every civilization is directly influenced by these knuckle draggers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sitting there going, that explains far too much.
The Illuminati of Neanderthal.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally the Neanderthal Illuminati. And I'm just sort of going, all right, that's different.
I think I remember seeing that card in the Steve Jackson game series.
God, that's the thing. DC is notorious for retcon. I mean, I honestly don't know who does it worse, Marvel or DC.
Well,
but DC always makes it a fucking event. It's never like one character. It's got to be around a fuckload of them.
Oh yeah, no. If you're going to retcon, blow up an entire continuity.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Earth 2, Earth 5.
All right, the original basis that they did this was the Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
And this goes back as far, I want to say 85.
Well, you know why. They had the fucking JLA and the
JSA.
The JSA, the Justice Society.
Yeah, the Justice Society of America used to be Earth 2's main heroes.
Yeah.
There was no Teen Titans. You had Robin the Man Wonder. Yeah, they finally gave him some pants, but that was about it.
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean...
You can't be in your 30s not wearing no pants.
Isn't that where the question of Superboy, does he exist, does he not exist?
Yeah, that's the whole... well, all right, so the whole basis of Infinite Crisis...
Crisis of Infinite
Crisis
Earth.
of Infinite Earth is this character... you have an assortment of beings called the Monitors.
Yeah.
But for every monitor, you also have to consider there would be an anti-monitor. He felt that all these worlds deserved no more.
Yeah.
That they have run their course. That's it. Fuck it. We're done. I'm rewriting.
So
in blood.
If I remember right, in this storyline, doesn't he show up on the planet in his giant hooker boots with his big hammer?
No, that's Ronan the Accuser.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're close, though. Actually, it's more of a kind of a crystalline / metal armor with weird rampant tubes that I'm not sure what the hell they do. Maybe they help power up his weapons. But yeah, he always did the ominous, I point one hand out to blast you. And I'm like, it takes a while for power to build up, so jump him! Fucking go for his knees, something! But yeah, no, I always thought that was amusing. So the whole basis of it is the remnants of these dead universes were tucked away in kind of like a pocket dimension. So you had Alexander Luthor from Earth. He was part of the criminal syndicate of America. So he had to deal with those alternate version of the JLA.
Yeah.
And this one kid was just simply known as Superboy Prime. He was the only hero in his world. So he's flying around doing all things that's super and feels... Yeah. And how can you not have an ego the size of the planet going, look, I'm the only guy that can do this. But at the same time, he was fairly balanced from it. So he gets scooped up, and from Earth 2, all members of the JSA except Batman and Superman. He, Lois, and Superboy Prime are all stuck in this pocket universe with the good Luthor.
Yeah.
And apparently that sat in Superboy Prime's craw after seeing how certain events were unfolding on the only truly existing Earth now.
Yeah.
All characters got accumulated or absorbed, or they simply weren't.
Yeah.
That's the whole bullshit with the Power Girl character. She was originally Earth 2.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be the alternative Supergirl on Earth 2. Then she gets absorbed into the Earth Prime in question. Her story gets all baffled, no, she's part Atlantean. No, she's kind of Kryptonian. No, she's actually from a species that's similar to Krypton. And it just kept getting more and more just befuddled.
Or you can go back to, which cartoon series was it that decided she was going to have been a clone?
Oh, that was Justice League Unlimited.
That's right, yes.
Which, that kind of made sense, but then they renamed her Galatea or something equally squarely to that magnitude.
And shrunk her boobs.
Yeah. I thought it's, I suppose there's that's important somehow.
Yeah.
Just really not primarily to me. Come on, it's supposed to be bigger than my head. No, it's really not a big issue. But yeah, so from that... So we have the Infinite Crisis, which completely rewrites that and starts bringing about newer elements and older story arcs and characters going, oh, I remember you. Weren't you from... And then finally we got into the New 52. Yeah. Jesus, God, this thing just drags on. So we get to the New 52, and all the universes have been recreated.
Yep.
Oh, and Green Lantern's gay. Sorry, let me clarify that. The original Golden Age, married, has 2 kids, has de-aged, and is now gay. And boy, you've never seen such an uproar. Had nothing to do with the primary fans and whatnot.
Yeah.
The gay and lesbian community just went batshit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, are you just trying to pigeonhole us in? Oh, we need more fans. Let's make a predominantly well-known character suddenly gay.
Yeah, just suddenly.
It doesn't make sense for the simple factor this guy has been married, has a couple of kids, and yeah, you can argue that, well, deep down, he's always been closet gay. Yeah, you could argue that.
No.
But it doesn't make any sense to.
No. They'd know it.
Meanwhile...
His wife would know it.
Yeah.
His kids would know it.
Yeah, well, even dogs would know it.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone would know it but him.
Yeah.
But that other end of the spectrum, now Marvel has taken a long-established character and made him gay as well. Now, this one kind of makes sense. So they made Iceman gay. It kind of makes sense when you think about he's had no relationship really come.
No, he really hasn't.
It hasn't been a horrific breakup. Yeah. It's always been, oh, well, we'll still remain friends. And he just went on about his day, and all the ex-girls and whatnot would hang out with him. He was just like a little brother. And you're sitting there going, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Kind of He'd always compliment Angel on his wardrobe, and you're just going, okay, let's not make it really ridiculous. But yeah, the more you explore it, you're going, yeah, I could buy it.
I'm pretty sure I even remember him saying to Angel, can I pull off this scarf? Do I look like some sort of gay superhero?
No, I'm still certain that was Patrick Stewart.
It probably was Patrick
No,
Stewart.
I think it was Jean-Luc Picard. No, wait, maybe it was Xavier. Could have been Xavier. Yeah, why do people keep mispronouncing that? They keep trying to emphasize the X. It's Xavier.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Not X-Xavier.
Well, when you lead a team called the X-Men, you put the
well, you can't call them Zup Men. Yeah, it sounds a little silly. I grant you.
Well, interestingly enough, that Crisis of Infinite Earths, and we were talking about how Batman made it out kind of scot-free there.
Yeah, he's the only one that got the very little Uncle Touchy route.
Oh, yeah, but later on you had 0 Hour.
No, that's even before.
Was that before? I thought that was after, when they changed age.
0 Hour occurred before Infinite Earth's Crisis.
Oh,
or the Infinite Crisis.
You're right. It was before the Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, so the whole world was getting erased. Because one superhero decides to go off his fucking nut, somehow tap into infinite power.
Because he went from age 7 when his parents were killed to age 9 when his parents were killed. And originally it was a mugger named Joe, and then later on...
God, it just got convoluted. Yeah, I know. Later we'll link it to Jack Napier that just happens to be the Joker.
Yeah. Or John Corbin, who later becomes Metallo at one time, was suggested.
God, I remember that. I was flipping through that and just going, what the fuck? No, that's Superman's rogue gallery. Do not add to it.
Yeah. Well, you had to find a way to mix them together, because originally they existed in entirely independent...
Honestly, the best incarnation of John Corbin is still... the Superman animated series.
Oh, yeah.
Because they made him a completely different aspect. In the end of the day, John Corbin was a fucking imbecile.
Yeah.
He was just a brain floating in an armor. Meanwhile, they made him this contract mercenary who had exquisite taste and refinement, and you voice him with Malcolm McDowell. Already, I'm in.
Great.
I'm completely in.
Great.
And honestly, I thought Malcolm took a completely different turn with him, made this character so much more, and I'm going, thank you, finally. I got a Metallo, and I'm not going, who's this idiot again? Oh, mother, God, is there something else on? Click, change channel. But yeah, I absolutely love the fact that they got Malcolm to voice him, and they're going, you brought a certain style and sophistication to him that was never there in the comics, because he was, again, aforementioned, fucking imbecile.
Yeah. Very similar. There are quite a few characters like that. That tends to be a source of villainy, that you take some idiot who walks in and signs up to have his body transformed into silica, for example. Or
that seems like a good idea. God damn it! I'm getting feedback outside. Do you mind closing that? I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Yes, we're having technical difficulties because apparently there's a big-ass truck that just came through. Sounds like a semi.
In case you wondered, yes, this is a high-tech recording studio.
Where's professional?
We's do this. Yeah.
Okay, I'm still hearing the truck out there. It's okay, though.
Honestly, though, when you come to retcons, you can't talk about the topic of retcons, and we could go on about Marvel and DC retcons.
Oh, God, right?
And we will, of course, come back to that, because we haven't even touched on Marvel.
Yes, I'm certain there's a fiery bird of rejuvenation in there.
When we talk about retcons, you can't mention retcons without going back to the storied daddy of all retcons, Breaking Back Falls. And... Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Oh, right. Oh, God, yes.
And the death of Sherlock Holmes.
Only to be brought up on trumped-up charges of first-degree murder.
Literally, in real life, the author was threatened with the Tower of London.
It was hilarious. The Baker Street Regulars, this is a fan base that had been around since the books were conceived.
Yeah.
They were trying to get him up on first-degree murder charges for a fictional character. Fictional character. Yeah, sorry. I love that bit too much that I can't help but throw it in. I know, and he has to retcon it to the sense of no. You see, he faked his death.
Absolutely.
Air quotations.
Which of
Poor
course,
bastard.
Which of course,
you know what? I would have upped the cost of that book by at least a minimum of £2.
Oh yeah.
You went, you're going to make me write this character yet? You're going to pay through the nose. That's right.
I was fucking out, and they dragged me back in.
You going Pacino on me now?
But which of course gives birth to that same storyline adjustment in many future situations. Even our...
you can even blame Dresden Files for that.
Well, I was going to say not far removed, the saintly Joss Whedon is guilty of the very same thing when he had an
myriad of resurrections.
Yes, he had an end to his series. Buffy had jumped to her death
to
close the portal to the godly dimension, and then her friends brought her back in.
Here's the problem. It made money.
Yeah, it did make money.
And they wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, well, how are you going to run a Buffy series without Buffy? Well, you work on it.
Yeah.
Is it wonder that man lost all his hair? It's not because he went, it's a little bald here. I'm just going to shave it. No, he lost all his hair, probably just working with the continuity of Marvel alone.
Well, and see, and there is the tough thing about retroactive continuity is it a retcon or is it a planned story twist?
Oh, question
that the author or director always intended to do.
All right, elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Do we talk about the biggest retcon of Marvel this time around?
Oh, we absolutely talk.
After all, can we not talk about the shield-slinging, all-American boy somehow becoming an agent of Hydra?
Right?
Now,
the whole time.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong, I can see where they're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, he looks like the shittiest agent on their side. Think of how many times he has thwarted Strucker,
Yeah.
Red Skull.
Mm-hmm.
God, how many different lieutenants they have in that?
Well, all just to maintain his cover, right?
Not to mention the inner workings they had with AIM, or that later Splinter Group raid, which was radical ideas in destruction. Mm-hmm. Which I'm going, wow, you guys really didn't think that acronym through, did you?
Yeah.
Radical ideas in destruction. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go with Crest, thank you.
Well,
I mean AIM, sorry.
Well, it's not Marvel's first foray into taking a beloved hero and making them evil. What was that with Iron Man?
Oh, God, in the 90s.
When Iron Man turned out to be a fucking murderer.
Oh, it gets even better than that. It gets even better than that. He's supposed to be, on a genetic level, linked to Kang.
Yeah.
Even though years prior, they established Kang was actually one of Richard's descendants.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all gotten completely altered. And then they bring back a teenage version of Tony Stark to battle crazy old version of Stark. And I don't know what the hell happened there. Because I stopped reading, going, I don't know. Give it away.
Go home, Marvel, you're drunk.
You're just disturbing.
Let alone when they decided that they needed...
How many times are they going to resurrect Jean Grey? I mean, seriously.
I was going to say Nick Fury of S.H.I.E.L.D. when they needed him to match the Nick Fury of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, right.
So they turned the old white Nick Fury into an evil
but when you think about the Ultimates...
universe-spanning assassin.
Yeah, but when you think about the Ultimates came out prior to any interaction that Samuel Jackson had.
Yeah.
So what's so funny is you're looking at the cover and you're going, dude, that looks like Samuel Jackson. Everyone said that because you couldn't help it. You're going, all right, granted you gave him a lot of scar and the scar tissue looked not too dissimilar from the damage he had in Triple X.
Yeah.
And then you're going, yeah, no, it's like, that's actually kind of cool.
And then, of course, later in the Winter Soldier movie that they came out with, they got an opportunity to put those scars on the character.
Right? And it was just cool because you were sitting there going, that is actually pretty good timing. Mm-hmm. But, I'm just curious, did S.H.I.E.L.D. build him a lightsaber that said big ass or badass motherfucker? I was just curious. Is S.H.I.E.L.D. working on that? I mean, they build everything else.
He had it in his contract that, his eye patch had to be a unique color. Any other
that
Nick
way he can
Fury.
be seen on the screen.
Yeah.
Right. But there's only been one other Nick Fury, and that was Hasselhoff. Yeah. Trust me, you'll never confuse the two.
Really? That wasn't Nick Fury in that awful...
oh, God.
No, my mistake.
Hey, do you remember who wrote that?
No, who did write that?
Joss? No, I'm kidding. No. This is prime example why you stay away from this cat. 50% of the time he'll bring the goods. And then he'll do something like Superman Returns. No, this is David Goyer. David Goyer wrote that piece of monkey spunk.
He just tosses the creative dice, doesn't he?
Right?
He's
I was convinced the cat's got a dartboard and just covers his eyes, randomly throwing darts, probably hitting the cat.
Yeah.
And eventually he gets something and he has to go take the cat to the bed again.
Yeah. Oh, here's the plot. Well, actually, though.
All right. Nick Fury will fall under the spell of cat's ass. Oh, shit, I hit the cat.
Let's be honest, though. With Superman Returns, as shitty as that movie was, Brandon Routh.
Oh, he was great. He was great.
And, let's not forget, it loosely obliterated Superman
3 and 4.
Exactly. Which was a justice.
That's actually kind of a blessing.
Yeah, exactly right. Because
my only complaint,
Sun cloned anti-Superman.
Yeah. Well, let's not. Well, overall, not to bash the film because, dear God, how many people have already done it?
Yeah.
my only real complaint was they didn't give Brandon Routh anything to punch.
Right?
The better chunk of this film is Kevin Spacey talking more than he ever did in Seven or The Usual Suspects.
Is that the new curse of an actor? To have to play Lex Luthor? Let's look
God.
at Superman Returns. Let's look at Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, you gotta be a chatty motherfucker.
Every actor that's picked up the Luthor character has come away beaten to shit by the fans afterwards.
Meanwhile, Gene Hackman does a little bit of exposition,
right?
Does a little bit of storytelling,
Came out
or
unscathed.
Releases his brilliant evil idea, and nobody says shit. They didn't even say shit about his performance in the fourth movie because it's one of the better performances.
It really is.
And the film itself is a complete...
Well, let's be honest. The plot is not far removed from the comic book storylines of that time.
Yeah, true enough. No, my biggest complaint
was not doing much better on their own.
Well, my biggest complaint about Superman Returns is we made Superman a deadbeat daddy.
Yeah.
Who... Unbeknownst to him, it's not like Lois could have got him on the forum because he was all the way out in space looking for anything similar to Kryptonian.
Yeah.
Which I'm going, hey, go visit Maxima's planet. I mean, come on, feisty redhead. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm biased.
Why does he have to go out looking for anything Kryptonian? He's got that miniature city and his fucking...
so he can just shrink himself down to Kandor and pork away.
Yeah. Just go chill out in the Kryptonian version of Starbucks.
They made some crack about how he couldn't survive there. No, there was some weird aspect because...
I'm sure there's a reason.
There's some half-assed conclusion of why he could never do that. Or I'm sitting there going, okay, how many intelligent men you know that could not devise a shrink ray to, I don't know, enlarge them?
I always love...
Next thing you know, you look at Antarctica, suddenly there's this huge, gorgeous, magnificent city of technological marvel you've never encountered, not to mention a shit potload of super beings that just happen to have the same powers as Superman. Also, how many of them have kind of gone stir-crazy?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it. You've only got... How large is a city?
Well, don't you know... They have a little group of bald guys that lives underneath the city that continually, puts everyone to sleep and makes them forget about the beach.
Behold the glorious bomb.
Shut it down forever. No, Rupert Sewell, you will never escape.
Oh, Lord, we're making so many obscure references. We're going to get letters again.
Yep. We are.
Your shit's weird. I mean, I was digging that whole retcon thing, and then you just went off track.
Yeah, that was called Dark City, folks. Rupert Sewell.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Wasn't Connolly in that?
Thank you.
And Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, actually.
Proof that cocaine cannot necessarily ruin your acting career.
And actually, Or
do you think that's all because of Donald? I don't know. Both have had really good work, so I'm just kind of throwing it out there.
This is very true, but actually I was going to say a little respected character actor. I cannot for the life of me remember his
While
name.
Sean's confused, I'm moving on.
I believe it was he played the character of Mr. Hand. Yes, it was Mr. Hand, who was
I have
also
no idea who the hell that is.
Riff Raff.
Oh. Actually, he's not just simply a character.
He's a writer.
He's also a writer, producer.
Yeah.
Hell, he's the one who created. He's the one that created Rocky Horror Picture Show for the most part.
And little did you know,
I can never think the cat's name.
It's Richard O'Brien.
That's right.
And also one of your favorite voices on the Disney cartoon Phineas and Ferb.
Oh my God.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, I can. I can completely buy it.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
When you get Robin Williams and Eddie Murphy to not swear on the microphone, that's astounding.
Don't forget,
I can buy anyone.
Also in the Dungeons & Dragons movie.
I try to forget that. I drink. Sean, I drink to forget that.
They're going to try it again.
Oh, God.
Isn't that
Are we going to have to see Justin Whalen again?
What's that line from?
Wait. Does this mean we're going to get Jeremy Irons mugging in front of the camera and go, yes, overact every last word?
From? Time will come around. They'll try it again. Oh, what's that line from? Damn it. Can't remember.
Yeah, it's because you're old.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
It's my curse.
Yeah, I know. No, okay, but from the basis, like you were talking about, continuity is a great example of that, and how the retcon aspect of bringing a character in to suit the needs of the story, or you just wanted a team up. The Doctor is prime example of this. Dear God, so you go as far back as, what was it, season 6.
Yeah.
We're dragging way back here.
Oh, yeah.
So the first attempt of this was with Robert Holmes originally writing The Two Doctors. And the whole stasis of this is they claimed the Doctor hadn't fully regenerated before the time games had ended. Or the War Games. The War Games were this wide, like multiple zones created by Rassilon for his sick fucking entertainment. He would make better Time Lords because of this by running them through these areas that have multiple enemies floating around. You have no idea where they're going to strike. We're talking Cybermen, Daleks, Silurians, all these characters that you've seen numerous times. That was originally crafted in that.
All
so you have
for the entertainment of a fat species of
No, this
aliens.
is actually a Time Lord that wanted this entertainment.
I thought this was a Marvel storyline with
no, that's nonsense. Nobody would buy into that.
No one would believe that people were put
so you have that.
Yeah.
You have the Three Doctors, which is bringing Hartnell back, who had to sit down the entire one because he had this horrible problem with his liver. Every time he tried to do a long-winded line, it's like somebody came up and kicked him in the stomach. He literally had to give up the character because of this illness.
Oh, God.
So he's sitting in like this temporal bubble, and he's interacting with both John Pertwee, who is the Third Doctor, and Patrick Troughton, which is hilarious to watch those two bicker like a married couple, only to find out they are some of the oldest friends, and they work so well together. Patrick Troughton recommended John Pertwee to replace him. And I'm sitting there going, that is hilarious, because you see them on screen, they're just bitching and snipping at each other. It's like, oh, you redecorate. Oh, I don't like that. Hence, all the throwback jokes that only classic Who fans would have gotten for the 50th anniversary.
So is that the one where they introduced the Doctor no one had ever heard of before?
That would be the Day of the Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now, so we get past that. We move up to the Five Doctors. It's another story arc, and it's just beginning, really, like the real trials for David... oh, good Lord, my brain just went... Peter Davison, excuse me. Peter Davison, who was the Fifth Doctor. They have to use footage from a episode they did not fully shoot, called Shada, that Douglas Adams wrote. Yeah, well, Douglas Adams wrote it. Yeah. He did a standard 4-parter. It didn't go anywhere, but they had the excess footage of him and oh God, was it Romana? We're just sitting there on the pontoon boat.
Which, interestingly enough,
it's a damn good book.
I was going to say, if you want to enjoy some good Doctor fiction, well, the episode never actually.
Yeah, some kid found it and simply wrote it. It translated.
Yeah.
Music enough. You can also go to Big Audio, Big Finish Audio, and get a audio play of it. Except it's oh good God, great! My brain just shot. It's the 8th Doctor instead of Tom Baker, which I was kind of bummed. I'm like, I would actually love to hear Tom Baker and the gal who played Romana teaming up again.
Right. I mean, it's an audio play.
It's
works not like
great.
You have to worry about how gray his hair is.
I mean, what were they worried about? Tom Baker just wildly drinking and going, I hated that twat. Because that's so Tom Baker.
No, he'd forget where he was and start doing lines from his Mushwoggle character.
Really?
From the old BBC.
Are you sure? I thought he was going to play his wood elf in Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I hope I ruined your childhood. Yes, the Doctor was a wood elf. Suck it up.
A prancing one, though.
But yeah, well, I don't think it was quite that bad. He was actually just like one of their primary healers.
Oh, not like Leonard Nimoy prancing about.
Yes, there was no Bilbo Baggins story arc of any of that. Oh, God, that was painful. But yeah, so getting past this, we haven't seen one, and then they have another one called the Two Doctors. It's Colin Baker going to save Patrick Troughton from, I want to say, the Sontarans.
At
any rate, actually, that was a fun one. If you guys haven't seen it, totally watch it. It's the Two Doctors, Tom Baker, Colin Baker and Patrick Troughton. And unfortunately, the gal that played Perry, who, let's face it, given her taunt little outfits, we know what they were selling.
Very true.
No one was confused or baffled.
Was it?
It was tits.
But let's be honest. Was it new to Doctor Who?
Not in the least.
No. Not.
They had more than a few girls that you would follow that category. Louise
outfits.
Yeah, Louise Jameson playing. What the hell was that character's name?
Oh God, there have been so many.
I don't know if we were just talking about her in the cave girl outfit. Great, my Leela. And thank you, Brain, for finally kicking in.
And what was it? I'll walk behind you, but it's inappropriate to walk behind you in case you fall.
His whole comment was he could not walk directly behind her because he could just see her very minuscule, tiny panties. Yeah. And it was a little disturbing because how about I walk in front of you instead? And in the event you stumble, I will do my level best to carry you up. In fact, here's the length of my scarf. Feel free to hold on to that. That would also help.
Bless the man for a gentleman.
And, I appreciate that aspect. Meanwhile, I think I would have been mesmerized. Just going, wow, so you run a lot. So it shows.
Kind of like the wedding in Seattle, where everyone else looked at the ceiling.
Tried to.
And you're like, oh, look, boobs.
Yeah, it was really hard not to look. It really was. Yeah. But going on the basis of this same building blocks, we had Matt Smith eras, Doctor Who, slowly building up that there was actually a secret hidden life. That all those times that Eccleston was the 9th and David Tennant was the 10th and Matt was the 11th were all just blatant lies. And he'd actually had a secret, less documented doctor during our illustrious mention but never seen anything of Time War.
Well, he didn't know. He was as a school teacher. He found a pocket watch.
Yeah, that must have been it. No, that was Tennant.
Oh, okay.
And they all knew. But that was the whole basis of it. What was so funny is they shoehorned this notion in that somehow this life has been there, so that would make, by all intents and purposes, that would make Matt the 14th life.
Yeah.
Because, while having the existing genetic material, somebody used up a regeneration to stay his pretty self. So he could be a proper skinny man in a suit and tie and wearing trainers. So from that basis of it, you have John Hurt portraying what they just affectionately refer to as the War Doctor. Mm-hmm. The one doctor who basically gave up the right to be called such. Mm-hmm. Who no longer healed, helped, and protected.
Got involved in the fight.
He got sick of the fight. Yeah. Apparently it had just been going on for more than a decade. Mm-hmm. And he finally had enough and proceeds to wipe both species, both his own species and the Daleks, out.
Yeah.
Everyone that had not got the chance to time jump and get out of the Time War got vaporized.
Oh. Which they allude to a couple of times.
Yeah, quite a bit, actually. And, of course, you have the Day of the Doctor, which completely rewrites his own history.
Yeah.
Which has been the biggest fundamental rule that he never crossed over purposely on his own expanding timeline.
Yep.
And with this three-parter, or this three-doctor intrusion, they actually end up doing. Which is a big cosmic no-no that he's never violated and has long since established. Mm-hmm. So, your new fans are like, well, is that a bad thing? Like, it kind of is. It kind of is. In fact, it's kind of like rewriting the Big Bang and nothing happens.
Yeah. It's kind of like...
Or doing your own Big Bang and turning Protozoa into something else. So, I mean, those are the aspects where you're going, I totally agree with you. I would have shot myself being that continuity editor.
Oh, yeah.
You would be in utter hell going, okay, in 1964 they didn't do that, but here in 84 they did, the fuck?
And that's what I was saying before. When you have a storyline that's predicated entirely on the idea of time travel,
coupled with however many flashbacks you can do.
Can you have continuity?
To a degree.
Are you held to the rules of canon and continuity?
Technically no, because he has visited... Scarrow at least twice. The plant, whatever the Sisters of Eternity,
plus,
the Keepers of the Eternal Flame.
Plus, in the end, there was a very good point made in one of the blogs that I read that once you have an alien species that you completely forget about the minute you stop looking at them, there's no such thing as continuity.
Yeah, I can see how that would really be a rough aspect to it.
Because you can go back to any point in the past and say, well, no, this happened because, and they didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Because the silence did it.
Yeah, technically the silence would be a great retcon device.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think of how many different interactions you had with all these different species just on Earth alone.
Oh, yeah.
Which always seemed to end up in a rock quarry, you'll know.
Right?
Yeah, it's really fond of those.
Oh, they do. Kirk loves them.
Yeah. Do not even bring up that fucking park with me. I am sick to death. I want to go and burn that park. How fucked is that?
But you know why I bring that up, don't you?
Why do you bring that up, Shawn?
It's a wonderful segue into Star Trek and the Klingons. You were telling me earlier about the Klingons.
What a novel concept.
Yeah.
Why, yes, thanks to actually having a budget.
Yeah.
And Ray Wise directing, which is so weird when you realize that he directed the Earth, the day the Earth stood still.
Yeah.
Which is still a quintessential sci-fi.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there going, look, you made Gord. This can't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got all the V'ger bullshit. And, all right, the one thing that I did want to touch base on is...
Hey, at least it wasn't a giant whale ship.
Yeah, that's true. You mean a giant flowing dildo with a little disco
that
ball?
Its balls on the Earth.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, just teabagging the planet. What the hell's that about? We disrupt your satellite communications. Blip, blip, blip.
You know what the new Independence Day is going to be. Teabagging the Earth.
Didn't they already do that?
No, that's going to be teabagging the audience. My apologies. That's different.
Okay, well, the basis of this, a great example of this, standing, is it's just as simple as they didn't have the budget in the TV show to create the Klingons to the magnitude that Roddenberry wanted. All the large, bumpy bone protrusions coming out of the forehead, making more elaborate costumes, establishing belts of honor.
Yeah.
All these factors had more or less been taken care of except for a prosthetic that they simply could not apparently validate to the producers, yeah, we need this to up the budget. Yeah. I mean, God's sakes, look at the Andorians. That is blue paint and little antennae that they had to build themselves out of like pipe cleaner and some latex. And even then, they were throwing a shit fit. That's why you didn't see the Andorians more than like two, maybe three episodes. Yeah. And I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, that's the only reason. And we get all the way to like Deep Space Nine when they're doing the trials and tribulations.
Yeah, the
and they poke fun at Worf and go, well, why do Klingons look like Dad and not like you? It's like, it's a long story. That's as far as they leave it.
What was it? We don't talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's only until Enterprise comes around that they actually came with a mildly interesting plot that somehow weakened those Klingons. They weren't as strong or as vicious, but they were just as passionate about murder as, humans were.
Yeah.
Only because they've been genetically altered. Yep, spoiler, fuck you all.
Apparently Klingons were more advanced technologically than they ever let on.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Or biologically.
Because, you go to Enterprise and you're going backward in time and establishing things that have no basis in the later history.
I don't know what you're talking about.
By the
you mean like J.J. Abrams?
Yeah, right.
Oh. God, I still love how people were pissed about that. Okay. What? It's an alternate timeline. It's an alternate future.
Exactly.
There you go. We're done. Boom.
Yeah.
I've explained it.
The Doctor came through. He said,
Super blood is great.
Timey-wimey shit.
He said it wasn't a fixed point in time. Everything was fine.
Yeah. But
found the notion of super blood, dropped it in Bones. Yeah. Bones handled everything.
So what was that dude? What was that Romulan dude doing for like 60 years?
Right?
While he was waiting.
Oh my God!
He's just hanging out there, and no one noticed this giant ship of the future.
Well, granted, when you think about it, their cloaking technology has always been vastly superior to that of even the Klingons.
But I mean,
they're the ones that really built it.
But I mean, honestly, were Romulans that paranoid that they even put cloaking technology on their fucking mining vessels?
When you? It's like, hey, that's my claim, motherfucker.
That's like you got a shrimp trawler and you put stealth and you put
something radar jamming on it.
That's right. Well,
yeah, we got in this good crop. We're not going to get fucked with.
Up here in us nor'easters, we don't
take kind of pillaging, boy.
This is Cold War shrimp fishing. Cold War. We don't want the Russians knowing we're out here.
In Soviet Russia, fish catch you. Oh, but
Thank
okay.
you, Yakov Smirnov.
Oh God, no. Actually, you know what? That just reminded me of the Stargate one that I want to talk about because it's so stupid. All right, there's stupid guns called the Zat-Nicotil. Yeah, I actually remembered the pronunciation, or just later got abbreviation to Zat guns. Yeah. All right, when they were first introduced, they were capable of totally disintegrating a human being in like 3 shots.
Yeah.
1 shot stuns them. 2nd shot kills them. 3rd shot disintegrates the body.
How that technology works.
Right? Nobody explained that one. Here's the best part of that, though. Somewhere down the line, they have a time travel adventure. It gets completely dropped. It's like, oh, it's way too powerful. We can't have them killing. So they end up like killing people or stunning people with several shots now. So what happened from...
No more disintegration.
Yeah, exactly. No more disintegration, it says. But with that knowledge, they just completely erase it, and you got fans going, hey, what the fuck? I've been watching this since, its inception, which is far better than that movie, Inception.
Are you saying they Daffy Ducked it?
Oh,
disintegration rate, disintegrated?
They flashy thinged us. Man. It wasn't even cool. But yeah, no, I thought it was hilarious how many people did comment on it, and you would hear several of the bang sheep going, when did that happen? I'm like, how long have you been watching this series? Oh, all 10 seasons. Like, then you have no excuse, and you need to go in the corner.
Yeah.
But, obviously, as much as Marvel is notorious
I gotta go to the shed. When you're naughty, you go to the shed.
Marvel will say go to the shed. No, but the most notorious for Retcon is still got to be Red Dwarf.
Oh.
I mean, between...
seriously. Retconning it
Oh, my God. Seriously, think about it. All right, the original crew from Season 1 was 169.
Yeah.
Then it turned out to be 1,169.
Yeah.
And then if you go on the basis of the book, it's 11,169. And you're going, Jesus God, Lister just keeps dropping from rank to rank to rank. It's getting to the point where even the bog bots don't listen to them. And these things are just designed to clean the toilets.
Yes, sir, Mr. This, that.
Yeah, screw them. They're fighting over lug nuts.
The mice have to salute me.
Okay, good examples of this. Lister got his appendix taken out twice.
Yeah.
His relationship with Kachansky started with a girl he liked, but didn't have the balls to actually go and date, to being his ex-girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And the mother of his offspring.
Yeah. That may or may not have ever happened.
Let's see. How many times did Rimmer die now? Okay, let's see. Not counting the holographic.
Well, and I was going to say, and the times when it wasn't Rimmer.
Yeah, not counting the holographic unit or his Ace Rimmer incarnation. Okay, so that's actually a total of just 3 then.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. I guess we add all deaths.
Do we count the number of times that he had his hard light hologram emitter turned off and Lister swallowed it?
I would call that death. I would call that purgatory.
Yeah.
Because you're just floating around with God knows what. Probably something made with Vindaloo.
And,
some Pop-It-On chips. Yeah. Whatever beer he put in his system.
Lager, Oh, gosh. Poor Rimmer.
No, but my favorite is Retcon, which apparently was never intended.
Yeah.
Is all based around Fraser Crane.
Oh, yes.
So people have been bitching about this for ages, and I laughed myself sick because I was never that big a Cheers fan. So I was talking to our mutual friend who apparently would never shut up about it.
Yeah.
We'll excuse his name, Tim Hicks. And but the whole aspect is he pointed this out to me, and I started laughing.
Yeah.
Because he's absolutely right. So in the earliest Cheers, everyone's talking about Father's Day, and my parents gone, and this and that, and they go, so Frasier, as uptight as you are, what kind of dad did you have? He goes, well, he established that his father was a scientist, and he's long since passed on. Mm-hmm. Now, we enter Frasier.
Jump forward. What was that?
Frasier's father is a cop.
Yeah.
And he is very much alive. So one would conclude that it gets explained later on in Frasier only because he meets up with Cliff. And Cliff now finds out that his dad has been alive. Yeah. He's a blue-collar worker. Clearly not the issues that occurred. Mm-hmm. And it's only then explained that he and his dad had a relationship that had gone quite cold.
Yeah.
Yet, his wife Meredith never contradicts this to any of his buddies. It's like they're going, oh, yeah, so they're your drinking buddies. They're just not your friends. I get that.
Speaking of quite cold.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, remember there was a character that would have
it had some of the most amazing legs, right?
That would have monotonally pointed out your every flaw to your drinking buddies at the bar. It would have been Meredith.
And while everyone wants to sit and poke fun at just people that make continuity errors or issues, I would like the whole aspect. People were just bitching about the Avengers had that sudden, easy Phantom Menace ending for the Chitauri, or the ID4 standing, if you will. I'm sort of going, but he's had some silly inconsistencies. Yeah. I mean, just look at Angel and Spike's age. Did you find that? That was fucking absurd.
No, I actually did not catch that, and I've been a grown man who's a Buffy fan.
Just picture that in your head.
I really kind of want to stop talking about that right now. Okay, moving on.
Okay, as a grown man who reviews movies and television, I'm apparently loud and out. But I still love Buffy and Angel, and fuck you if you don't.
Is that kind of like the extra 2 points you get on your score if you're in a band, even if it's a cover band?
Exactly.
You go from being a 4 to a 6.
Yeah. I think it kind of improves you just to a certain degree. Yeah. No, it's funny because their age is drastically changed. So he went from for Spike, it went from 200 in School Hard to 126 in the Initiative. So that is breaching several seasons to getting knocked down to 120 for Fool for Love. Meanwhile, Angel had 20 years added to his lifespan for Becoming.
You're right.
It's so
God,
weird.
You're right.
And I'm not bad-mouthing because I realize there's more than one writer on this series. Yep. I mean, they make it sound like while Josh did create these characters, he didn't write all their backstories.
Oh yeah, no, there were many times where Josh didn't even touch the script.
Honestly, the most consistency for those characters has been the actual books.
Yeah.
They managed to keep it like, okay, that's his age, and we'll keep it there.
Yeah.
And these writers have actually busted their ass doing a good job with it.
In fact, there's a very good way to tell that Joss doesn't touch all of the scripts that came out on Buffy. Look at the
Snake
episode
Mare?
Teacher's Pet.
No. That was still fun, though.
Giant Mantis.
Yeah.
Had sex with a high school quarterback.
But, the girl was really hot.
Yeah.
So, he was also 17. He'd get a hard on looking at linoleum.
Yeah, that's true.
No, actually, the best inconsistency I have is still Resident Evil, but I need to run to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
so I'll be right back.
and movie in continuity. In continuity? Can you say that as you run to the bathroom?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, in continuity.
Or incontinent.
That's a standard in sci-fi films. I mean, you take a look at the original Alien and its much latter sequel, Prometheus. I mean, the story inconsistency aside, which has been much talked about on the internet, so we don't even need to go into the problems between Prometheus and Aliens. But you have that issue we talked about before, where you have a movie that was created in the 60s or the 70s, or a television show that was created back in the 60s or the 70s, and they didn't have the budget or even the technology. And then you later try to create a new episode in the story arc, and you find yourself with a past that had significantly more advanced looking technology than the actual future that it precedes. And the only storyline I know that had any plausible explanation to that would be actually Star Wars, where they explained that the advanced looking technology in the second trilogy, the second trilogy.
The second tridge? How would you call it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back.
Zombie veg.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Will you get off a zombie veg?
I did last night.
Yeah, I don't need to hear about them.
When I watched iZombie. Anyway.
Yeah, okay, that one actually makes sense. Good correlation,
Thank you. But no, the only one that ever had any plausible explanation was Star Wars, in that they said the totalitarian government, the Empire, in squashing creativity and squashing education for the purposes of maintaining their empirical hold on everybody, actually caused
the First Order.
A downgrade in the quality of the tech.
Not to mention the quality of life.
Yeah.
You also have the basis of less developed planets that have to operate under imperial entanglement.
Exactly, and that's where you got that homogenized, less advanced tech look of the Star Destroyers and the TIE Fighters and the Walkers.
Yeah, versus being on Coruscant, where you're going, oh yeah, we built more spiral skyscrapers.
Kind of in the vein of, the glorious Republic's spaceship production factory number 75 in the USSR.
Versus being on Tatooine, which, it's primarily controlled by gangsters.
Yeah. Exactly. And that
fucking Watto.
It's not exactly retconning, but I always find it an interesting and humorous effect when you try to create a prequel years after the original movie, and then you want to utilize the special effects of the day.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
With a complete disregard for the limitations and the look of the previous film.
You want to talk a slap in the face from a prequel? All you got to do is look at the Resident Evil story arc. Yeah. And now, I am actually referring to the games. Fuck the films. Yeah, well, I've already been on that rant. We'll just get right by it. No, basically, you go right to Resident Evil Code Veronica, which sadly you have to play snivelly, whiny Rebecca. So this is basically Resident Evil 0.
Yeah.
Where you have to play Rebecca. Now, here's the fucked up part of this whole aspect where you have to put your brain on hold. She is literally part of, was it Beta Team? Yeah, Beta Team. Yeah. So she's part of that crew that crashed their helicopter and had to go through all the crazy shenanigans. Prior to anything to do with the house, she is going after an escaped convict who is a offending murderer and is scheduled to life imprisonment. He's going to Guantanamo.
As opposed to the unoffending murderer.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
They're really polite about it.
The whole basis of it is he's a military convicted murderer.
Gotcha.
And he is supposed to go away. He's a special forces guy, yet somehow his hair is a mullet and he has some really ridiculous tribal tattoos. And we just overlooked the fact that maybe it took them a while to get him to
Don't you know
this
they
region.
All had mullets back in the Liefeld days.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so at any rate, the whole basis of it is she encounters vastly more disturbing stuff. Giant spiders, scorpions, a copious amount of the Cerebus, and zombies prior to Resident 1.
Yeah.
So, by that basis, it looks fucking retarded that she's all snivelly and scared in the mansion, and Chris or Jill has to save her ass.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, wow, that's a great downgrade to a character. But the biggest slap in the face is still Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Oh, God.
So this is a later story arc, still using Rebecca. Or no, this time we're at Claire Redfield.
Yeah.
And for some reason, she has discovered this stupid little document called Wesker's Report. And it's supposed to establish that Wesker was behind all the events of the first and second one, even though he technically died in the first.
Yeah.
And yet they've resurrected him. It's the magic of the T-virus.
Well, don't you know? Brain in a jar.
What
British accent. Had a monkey, wore a beret.
What is this, monkey Hitler? Is this Mecha Hitler all over again?
Well, him and his entire troop of Nazis were stuck in the center of the earth.
Were they busy exploitating too?
Yeah.
I always love that. Yeah, if you actually sit down and watch all the Nazi... Well, actually don't sit down and watch all the Nazis. But if you read the synopsis, it's always referred to as De Fuhrer's highest order.
Yeah.
Now, this is ranging anything from some weird-ass breeding camp, castrating POWs, creating some weird werewolf cybernetic hybrid, I'm going, with technology, they would not, let alone any study of the occult, that they would have had nothing on. And it's just hilarious. When you base these story arcs, you're going, how is it none of these assholes got together and just took over?
Right?
Why is there no Axis America?
Well, they almost did, but Captain America defeated the Red Skull.
Ah, yes.
Accidentally.
Was that before or after he joined Hydra?
No, accidentally. He was maintaining his cover.
Oh, God, okay.
Did too good at maintaining his cover.
He is a good double agent.
Or is he a triple agent?
That's right.
Actually, you want a fun, and this is just a little one, a fun little retcon.
Yep.
You take a look at the Evil Dead series and then Army of Darkness, and then you go to the new television series on Stars.
Well,
and
see, that one can actually be explained.
You kind of just lose Army of Darkness in the process.
Now, one end of the spectrum, I'm kind of happy with it. Because while I grew up seeing Army of Darkness and then later the first two, I actually love the first two more. Well, because you've got a bumbling doofus just trying to save his own ass, and he just happened to be trying to save other people as well.
Didn't he, throw kids to the demons to get away?
No, that was actually a joke that Sam and Ivan Raimi were talking about wanting to do that.
It wasn't a joke. They wrote it out.
They probably wrote it out of the script.
Yeah.
Because Dino De Laurentiis like, no, you can't do that. He's the leading character. Or however, I didn't make him sound like Tattoo. Sorry about that. But no, interesting enough, because...
The demon!
Because so many people own the rights, so many production companies own the rights to Army of Darkness, primarily it's Universal. They're being told dicks about giving that information away or allowing any of that to even be allowed into the TV show. So... Sam just basically went, yeah, okay, well, we got 2 movies prior. We just do an alternative, an alternative shout out to it. And so, they develop a hand for him and other ad nauseums and whatnot. Because, admittedly, going into it, I'm like, oh, why does he have the metal claw there? I mean, that looked like it was useful. Only to find out, Universal's holding on to it because they want more money. Well, fuck you.
Always reminds me.
So they can't tap into that previous footage or anything loosely associated with it. So basically, the way Sam described it is why don't we just do an alternative timeline? This is where Ash actually figured a way to get away from the swirling time vortex and went, fuck them, I'm out of here. Because I've seen enough crazy as it is.
When it comes to licensing.
And I'm going to live in 30 years of mediocrity.
Licensing like that always... create some interesting writing hurdles.
What do you mean, Spider-Man?
Like in the movie Deadpool, obviously, you got a whole mansion full of just 2 X-Men.
Yeah, I love that. I did love the gags about it.
Oh, yeah. At least they poked fun at the reality of the situation.
You know what the worst part is? They have to give Rob Liefeld credit for that character.
Right?
Oh. A man who
Rob
can't.
Liefeld deserves no credit for anything.
A man who couldn't even draw the fucking character without making his legs too long in scenes. And you're just going to mix these overdeveloped pectoral men, women with tits that are bigger than our heads,
and defy gravity. I believe some of them actually went up.
And a waistline that Vampira would have gone, no, sweetie, you're going to tip. It's time to loosen the corset, right? Oh, God, you're not wearing a corset? You're a freak of nature.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I think only Von Teese is able to look like a Liefeld character.
That is creepy.
Oh, gosh.
I know. I just had the biggest issue with that.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, the sad death of some really good DC cartoon series. Because people just can't play well together.
I read, right? So, let's see.
As much as I love Batman,
Young Justice is gone.
His creator's fucking family won't...
Bob Kane's children and grandchildren just aren't happy enough with their millions.
Yeah.
We want more. So, let's see. We've had the Batman story arc getting altered so many times. So, you had Batman, the Batman Adventures, the Adventures of Batman and Robin, the new Batman Adventures, then Batman Beyond, finally to The Batman with the more, I guess we're going to make it more mainstream because we got to tie it in with Batman Begins.
Yeah.
So we got to keep him young. It's like Bruce is never allowed to truly, fully grow up But the only other cat that suffers that is fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He is never allowed to leave high school. High school is his eternity.
The man gets younger every time they reboot him.
Right?
Have you noticed that?
Like, Jesus God. I'm like, dude, I should not be older than Spider-Man now. Stop that.
I mean, when it began, he was graduating high school, right?
Yeah.
And then he was a sophomore in high school. And
Hell,
went back.
you can go as far back as when Nicholas Hammond was playing him. This, by the way, is a brilliant trapeze artist. He had done, how many Broadways?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the sound of music alone, the man has made his bones just on Broadway. But because he was this gymnast and a trapeze artist and was already used to being up in the air, they just put this restraint through him, this harness gag, so they could actually have him climbing up the wall.
Walls.
The downside is, if that stuff wasn't as strong as they thought, he would have plummeted to his death. Because half the time they had that street emptied.
But see, that's the fun thing about back then.
I mean, seriously, that was kind of ballsy. But the biggest issue they had was they couldn't do the web line effective enough and safe enough for our lead actor and or stuntman to do it. But aside from that, he was already in college.
Yeah.
As far as that 1979 arc.
Yeah.
Was, and you're just sort of going, so why do we keep de-aging Spider-Man again and again?
We de-age him, we take away his web shooters.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're biological.
Well, I mean, it started out as a great sci-fi character, really, when you
Shawn,
think about it.
as the avatar of the spider, he
The
has those
avatar
all biologically.
Wait, are we talking about that gray-haired bitch that lives in
Retcon!
Are we talking about that gray-haired bitch that lives in the alternate shadow dimension?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No?
Retcon. Everything's fine. He's got web shooters again. What's going on?
Well, isn't that the whole Straczynski period?
Oh
of
my
Spider-Man
God!
writing? I mean, that's the time period
That poor
that turned
bastard.
Gwen Stacy into a whore.
And plowing Norman Osborn.
And birthing children to him.
Wait, she was barely 19. How did that? Right, Retcon.
And he was 30, 40, 50.
Almost 40.
Yeah, I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah, he would have been in his mid-40s. Oh, God. Ugh. I feel that's not Mountain Dew coming up.
Which means when he killed her, it wasn't this horrible tragic event. It was him cleaning up.
So maybe it was like a grudge
relationship
ending.
It was,
I can see
she was suing for child support. He had to deal with it. Yeah.
So he sconces the kids, stows them away with a nanny.
Yeah.
That problem solved.
Trains them to be spider killers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
I feel really sorry for Straczynski having to write this crap.
In all honesty, though, I can't badmouth too much. I'm going to get hate looks for this. I know I'm going to say it. The Clone Saga.
My opinions have varied over the years, and I really did like Ben.
I mean, and it's not like it was just something they pulled out of their ass.
No, they had this as far back as 75.
Yeah, they had cloned him quite a while ago.
Yeah, this came back as far back as 75 when... Mm-hmm. And see, let me ask you a quick question. Why the fuck are Spider-Man's rogue gallery primarily green?
Yeah.
Seriously, you got Green Goblin, Doc Ock, the Vulture, the Scorpion, the Jackal. Yeah. All these cats are in green. Occasionally get dumped on by the Hulk. It was weird.
Which, interestingly enough, the Hulk wasn't originally green.
Right. He was gray. The only reason why they changed it was, they needed a color other than gray because it's really confusing to add your background. Like, is there a gray guy behind those gray mountains? I can't see him. I know. I just love the fact that they just change him arbitrarily to green. Like, fuck it, that'll do.
Did his wife turn out to be a clone too? Did she?
Why not?
Did she leave Ben when she found out the original Spidey was actually the clone all alone and run away with the
that would have been
Peter Parker?
That would have been a really disturbing story arc, but alas, no. She stayed for Clone Boy, only to find out, golly willikers, he actually isn't a clone. He's the real guy. Ben's the clone, and Norman Osborn's been fucking with you yet again.
Well, good for her, not running off and leaving her wife and kid.
Hey, stand by your man.
Like some X-Men do.
Oh, you mean like Cyclops?
Yeah.
And that notorious notion? Boy, I sense a dark Phoenix horizon.
That seems like we've segued into another
Why,
topic.
Shawn, you observant so-and-so, you're quite correct. This is actually referred to as the great-granddaddy of the weirdest retcons.
Which I think Marvel really wins the trophy.
Oh, yeah. By far.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we base this whole aspect as Jean Grey, imbued by the Phoenix power, ends up taking her own life. After she lost control of the Phoenix, she ends up just gaining just enough of her own personality to force an energy cannon to just vaporize her corporeal form.
Yeah.
So the Phoenix energy dissipates, gone. She's a pile of ash, done and done.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, after a few years, Cyclops meets up with yet another redhead. Yeah. This one not telekinetically imbued or telepathically. Yet just looks almost like the spitting image of his ex-girl. Little creepy. Strange. A little creepy. But, they get over that hurdle, life ensues, and they're well on their way to having a baby boy.
Lo and behold,
something curious happens. It is discovered by Reed Richards, or Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four, that a psionic cocoon has been residing in Texas, where under the pressured waves of God knows how many fathoms of water, and she's been there the whole time. Yes, Jean Grey. It is almost as if the Phoenix created a doppelganger of her and wanted to live the life of Jean Grey. Which sounds great. Like, oh, okay, well, I got a body like a supermodel, but, oh, Christ, there's giant fucking robots trying to kill me. And everybody hates mutants.
Well, it wasn't so the Phoenix could live as a human and experience life before, being crucified and then sent to hell and then rising to heaven again. Okay.
No, I don't think that's quite work,
So, it was because it felt bad for Scott.
Yeah, well, actually, you know what? I'll go you one step goofier. So, our wife is a clone of Jean Grey, created by Mr. Sinister, who has been continuously fucking with Scott Summers since before he gave him his frickin' ruby quartz glasses.
Haven't we established in the Marvel Universe that Mr. Sinister has been fucking with Scott Summers since before Scott Summers was even conceived?
Right, pretty much.
Didn't he make Scott Summers?
I'm thinking he paired up the parents together. He played a little matchmaker.
I think actually that does exist somewhere in the storyline. I believe
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But no, it gets even goofier than that.
Somebody Essex. I can't ever remember.
Nathaniel Essex.
Nathaniel Essex.
Yeah, why do I remember obscure fictional characters, but I stumble on living beings?
By the way, spoiler. Stay through the credits of X-Men is
spoiler.
Shitty as the movie actually turned out to be, in my opinion.
Oh my!
You do see the appearance of Nathaniel Essex.
Or
Essex
Mr. Sinister
arrived to pick up the blood of Wolverine from.
Okay, all right, too much spoiling. Now I have to pinch you.
Okay,
all right, moving right along. So from that standing, so the clone in question births a child. Later on, after abandoning said wife and child, you have the whole Inferno aspect where she goes all demon queen and they end up gacking her. Dark Phoenix. He claims, they're kind of similar to him.
No, you're right. Demon Queen and Dark Phoenix were
they're two separate entities and two separate aspects. So we have Jean Grey, who isn't as good a telepath as she had been, and she's still a telekinetic. So all those levels that she bumped up to, nope, that shit didn't happen. Retcon! We vape Madeline.
Yep.
Scott, who has been derelict daddy, takes his son, raises it with the woman who just happens to share similar DNA to his wife, takes off with the kid. We have a techno-organic issue where the child's virus. Infected, so we send him into the future.
Because that's what you do when your kid's infected.
Where he becomes Nathaniel Summers, a.k.a. Cable. Yeah. If that isn't convoluted, ridiculous, and so paradoxical, I don't know what the fuck is.
Or he becomes the X-Man.
Oh, yeah, that's another possibility. But that's an alternative future line.
That's right. That's true.
God!
Not to be confused with the heroes that were reborn Or
hang on, I'm going to have a mild stroke over here.
Or the is it the new 52?
Oh God, I'm so sick of the new 52. I'm like, wow, thanks for just bad touching everyone. Well, I got to be honest. I think that's all the retcon I had.
Well, and,
wait, what's in my drink?
Well, we didn't. We of course didn't even touch on the other ill-fated Marvel romance, and that is Johnny Storm and Alicia
Masters.
Alicia Masters,
a.k.a. the frickin' Skrull. I mean, I'm sorry, I meant the stepdaughter of the Puppet Master.
Oh, but not. Honestly. She was a Skrull the whole time. Well, not the whole time. Roundabout the
actually,
time.
the best time to reveal that would have been during the Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
So then you got a darker story. He's carried a child with this woman, only to find out, boom, she delivered an egg. Yeah, seriously.
That is how
I swear to God, they put that in for Skrulls. Like, oh yeah, by the way, the mom just drops an egg. Blam, puts it in like a... And since we don't live under those primitive Earth conditions, she can just put that in an incubator. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, you could just get up and fucking walk off? Like, that is hilarious. Women are going to hate you a lot. And and because you're a shapeshifter, you'll never have to worry about losing your figure.
And of course, once he finds out she was a Skrull, much like Madeline Pryor, she gets dumped.
Yeah. She gets dumped. She dies. She gets resurrected. Yep. Gee, not unlike Madeline Pryor.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Cookie.
No wife has it worse than Peter Parker's wife.
Gwen Stacy? Yeah, I'd imagine get it.
No, I was thinking of MJ and the fact that when presented with the idea of living happily with your wife for the rest of your life, or exchanging all of those happy years so that you're on the cusp of death, 90 million-year-old ants can have 5 more days of life.
Wait. So I'm going to sacrifice pure happiness for constant millstone that constantly cock-blocked me from some of the hotter women of Marvel. Yeah, you know what? Fuck the old brat's going to die. Yeah.
You make a deal with Mephisto and be like, it never happened.
So he sacrificed his entire happiness, all those years they've been together, the potential of his child.
And what is that, 20 years worth of storyline?
Oh, God, yeah.
That just
Dude, that is like half our childhood right there.
It never happened.
Wait, does anything else get resurrected? Because think of how much her life interconnects.
You know what that means? That means MJ died a long time ago at the hands of a stupid stalker.
Yeah. Or he just remained friends with her. She has no idea about his identity still.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, think of how many lives that intersects with. So, what does that do for, like, Liz Allen? And is Harry Osborn back from the dead?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Dude, think about it. So, she's had no interaction with Venom?
Yeah.
Dude, that is a lot of crossover work. Good God, who's going to clean that mess up?
I can't remember from the storyline. Did he talk it over with her first, or did he just up and go to Mephisto and be like, Mary Jane, I'm kind of making this decision on my own.
I'm thinking he went completely selfish for anti-Krusty there.
Yeah, that's...
Dear God, how many... Oh, you actually know it's funny.
That's a dysfunctional relationship.
That's some fucked up right there, my friend. No, that's hilarious. It's the first 10 annuals.
Yep.
It's all about Aunt May. It's like, here's your wheat cakes. Oh, and an organ just... squishes out of her. It just turns into some souped up shit and just ebbs out of her body. He has to come up with some chemical formula because, again, this kid has an advanced level of chemistry and damn near alchemy to keep this old broad back up on running and get her back up on the runnings. And I'm just sitting there going, it's okay to let some people go.
Yeah.
And I'm not using that as the cock-blocking term that I was prior. Just a simple factor is eventually you have to let some people go. No. He didn't rejuvenate her. He didn't knock 20 years off. It's like, oh my God, all that bursitis that was killing my back, it's gone. That ache I had in my rotator cuff, no more. No, instead he just infinitely fucking prolongs her. It's like these assholes that get a dog and they're like, oh no, we'll use the medication, we'll keep Farfo around. Yeah. Meanwhile, Farfo has diabetes. You got to give him an injection twice a day.
Yep.
He's got cataracts to the point where he's blind in both eyes. He could barely hear. Can't find where he's supposed to be taking a dump. Accidentally pees on the floor.
Yep.
You know, you've stripped him of all dignity at this point. Like, just hit the dog die.
Know what the next storyline's going to be. He's going to stick her in the silver armor. What's his name?
Silvermane's armor?
Thank you, Silvermane. Yeah, Aunt May in the Silvermane armor.
Oh my God! Lim, damn it, Lim! I didn't make these falsified metal boobies for nothing. No, Lim!
Or possibly
maybe it's just like her head on it.
Or possibly his vampire friend will come around and
what, Morbius?
Oh wait, no, he can't because he doesn't have vampire
teeth. He's a living vampire.
He's got suction cup hands.
Oh no! Please don't bring that up again. Oh my God! You threw me back to the '94 Spider-Man cartoon.
Oh God!
Where they neutered not one, not two, but three anti-heroes. The Punisher can't kill, Blade can't slay vampires, and Morbius can't feed. Other than selling action figures, what was the fucking point? Oh, that was the point. To sell action figures. Silly me.
Oh, but I suppose we've probably scraped the bottom of the Retcon barrel.
Dude, we have actually gone over our usual amount.
Nice.
We're at an hour 30.
Well,
imagine this poor listener going, they're going to shut up. I got tickets to the game, man. I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Probably a good time to wrap it up. And just know, if you're sitting here and you're thinking, God, I can't believe I gave up an hour and a half of my life to this, don't worry. Chances are right now you're just living in Franklin Richards' little toy ball, and soon it'll all turn out to have never happened.
Oh, thank goodness. I cannot live another day with Onslaught. But Shawn, can't we just get beyond Thunderdome? See, I couldn't resist it. I just wanted to come
was that your lethal weapon?
Oh, well, you got a lethal weapon too.
I did.
What's a lethal weapon for? Oh, he gets another one in.
Oh, the punishment never ends.
Oh, it never does.
All right. Well, folks, I'm Shawn.
I'm Jake.
Thanks for letting us ramble on with you.
We greatly appreciate it. You have a good one, folks.